November was more about quality than quantity. I only read 4 books in the month of November, and I know, 4 is good, not bad at all. But comparing to the previous month, it's a big step down. Doesn't matter. I'm very happy about the books I read because each one offered something unique, and it was an amazing reading experience. Each book was fantastic, different genres. I cannot wait to tell you all about them. Let's start out with the first one, Don Winslow's The Power of the Dog. This was written in 2005, a crime thriller like none other. Deliver my soul from the sword, my love from the power of the dog. This is how the book opens, with the quote straight from the Bible, perhaps fittingly. This book takes us on an epic ride through 3 decades of US involvement in the war on drugs. 3 decades of atrocities that are just unimaginable. This book is extremely difficult to read. I would not recommend reading this book to everyone. It is certainly visceral. It is certainly hard-hitting, but it's also incisive in its sharp, penetrating insight into the difficulty with dealing with the problem of drugs that are coming across the US border. How complicated the issue is, how politics gets in the way of solving problems, how big money corrupts. This book was an eye-opening experience. It was a book I didn't know I needed to read until I started it. We are following a series of characters. Each one of them feels as real as they could be. People from both sides of the border, people from different walks of life, caught up in the drug trade. There's mafia, corruption, betrayal, revenge. This book has it all. It's got twists, history. For example, the devastating earthquake that took place in Mexico City. Reading about it was such a resonant and textured experience. Fearless and unapologetic in how it portrays the darkness and the atrocities that take place just under our noses. Just a book that I cannot recommend enough to the right reader. And I think you probably know if this book will work for you by the description I gave you. So, The Power of the Dog, a shattering reading experience. I'm gonna be picking up more of Don Winslow's books in the future. There is a follow-up to this book. I think it's called The Cartel, and I will be reading it as well. Let me know if you've read this book or any other book by Don Winslow, and if you can recommend any other books in this vein. Maybe I'll put it over here, actually. Now, a complete 180. If you like gentle books, character-driven stories with a unique narrator, look no further than Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I really enjoyed this book. It was recommended to me by my wife, Joanna, who read it and loved it. It was such a sweet, wholesome story. It was fantastic, fantastic, and lots of depth to this story as well. So, what's it about? We have an older protagonist. Tova is her name. She works as a cleaning lady at an aquarium where she befriends a giant Pacific octopus. The giant Pacific octopus is a narrator at times. This creature is truly remarkable, although Remarkably Bright Creatures does not refer to the octopus. So, in any case, the story of their friendship, the adventures, things that happen in this book, just a pleasure to read. We do have other characters. Cameron, I think, is the name of a character who at first I didn't connect with. Difficult person to like, but really well written. The nuance of his character was really shown beautifully. And his character arc also was fantastic. So I loved reading this book because it was just a pleasure. It brought a smile to my face. It is an interesting book. It's not a cozy read. It's got some hard-hitting truths that it's willing to unapologetically tell you. Just a beautiful, luminous kind of a novel. Now, the ending I felt was a little bit predictable. I could see it coming probably halfway through the book, but it still didn't bother me at all because it was perfect. It was how it was supposed to end, in my opinion. So yeah, lots of twists in this book, lots of connections between people who we meet that are sometimes unexpected. yeah, just a great story that I really enjoyed. And this is the kind of book that I could recommend to just about anyone. Of course, there are some things that maybe some people will cringe at, how this octopus is portrayed with many kind of human traits. But if you can just get past that part of it, you are going to really enjoy this story and find a lot to love here. So yeah, Remarkably Bright Creatures is a great read. The next book I want to talk about, and I have the whole cantos here on display, is The Rise of Endymion. So this is, of course, book 4 in the incredible Hyperion series. Rise of Endymion ends the cantos and does it with a bang. Fantastic story. I love this. I had tears in my eyes towards the end of this book. A lot happens. I'm going to make a separate video where I talk about Hyperion Cantos, all 4 books, why I love it, why it's such a milestone, such an important work within science fiction. Perhaps the most important series, certainly my favorite. So there's so much to be said about Rise of Endymion and the way in which Dan Simmons was able to bring this epic to a close. This really has a lot. It offers so much. It's difficult to talk about, of course, because it's book 4, but beyond the incredible characters, it's got so many fantastic themes that are explored. Love and sacrifice, faith versus spirituality, humanity versus technology, power and control, nature of time, finally, free will versus predestination. This book explores so much in such a fantastic way, and it puts us in the middle of a world, a universe, a galaxy, a future that is really built so intricately with such a cerebral, such intellectually stimulating narrative that this I think is a series that most people, if you love science fiction, will rave about. So I will talk about this in a future video, the whole cantos, and I cannot wait to do that. Now, last book. It's a book that I admit I still have a few pages before I finish it, but I can already tell you this is a hit. This is possibly becoming my favorite modern fantasy. I guess it's fantasy because there's a dragon. Everyone knows there's a dragon. It's on the cover. Joe Hill's King Sorrow is a novel that I was waiting for. This is the urban fantasy that I was waiting for. This really is a gripping, fantastic, propulsive read with multifaceted characters, a group of heroes who are trying to do the right thing, full of twists, full of mysteries, full of action that I was excited to read about. Really fantastic read. Of course, I haven't finished it. The ending, I think, in a big way is going to determine whether this is a 5-star read. It's a 5-star read for me right now. It's perhaps a top 5 book of the year right now. We'll see how it ends. I have about, 150 pages maybe to go. So still a little bit could happen. But the writing, this is the first Joe Hill. Joe Hill, of course, for those who do not know, is the son of Stephen King. And I really appreciate the fact that he changed his last name for the purposes of his book writing career, not to use his father's fame to propel his own. He wanted to do his own thing. And here I'm seeing hints of Stephen King at his best, but Joe Hill stands apart from his dad. His writing is fantastic on his own. He does not need his father's last name. I am a big fan. I don't know if I'm going to pick up some of the other books that he's read. Let me know that he's written. Let me know if you've read some of them. What are other books that you've enjoyed by Joe Hill? I did watch with my daughter the movie that I think is based on a novella or a short story written by Joe Hill. It's The Black Phone. And we enjoyed it. It was scary at times. I was afraid. There was a big jump scare that made me actually audibly gasp. So yeah, Joe Hill is fantastic. If you like horror, there is that in here, but it's so much more. When it comes to its literary merits, it has a lot to offer. Fabulous writing, great prose, but still easy to read. Just a great mix. I am a big fan of Joe Hill's just after the first 650 pages of this behemoth. This is almost 900 pages, but it's a fast read. It is a fast read. Lots of short chapters. I like that because you're always like, oh, there's just a couple more pages. I'll continue. And then you continue well into the night. It's that type of book. Difficult to put down. Fabulous action, fabulous characters, smart conversations, well written. It did take me probably good 150, 200 pages to actually fall in love with it. I liked it in the beginning, but I was annoyed by some of the quippy kind of conversations where everyone was always being kind of smart and funny. But then things settled in, and I'm loving this. So yeah, Joe Hill, King's Sorrow, fabulous book. I'm gonna finish it before the end of the month. I'm shooting this video a little bit early. Today's the 28th of November. I'm shooting it a little bit early because I know I'm not gonna have time to shoot it in a couple of days. So this will be the 4th book that I'll finish, because I'm gonna finish this today. 150 pages of King's Sorrow is nothing. It goes like this. So I cannot wait to see how this ends up. And yeah, I'll tell you if I enjoyed it. I mean, I may have to do like a dedicated book review to this, just as I'm gonna do, of course, with Hyperion Cantos now that it's all done. So another fabulous reading month for me. Please leave a comment. Let me know your thought. Let me know what you're reading. How is your November? And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next video.